Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... I think we're reaching the end of this particular setup here, as and by that I mean this computer, um, because yeah, it seems like the browser I've been using since well, for quite some time now on here to actually stream these doesn't work. The one was Microsoft Edge, which StreamYard has a problem with, and now my computer is glitching and freezing consistently, and yeah, I had to set up a whole different browser just to make sure I could stream this. So that's why we're starting late today. That's the obligatory scuff at the beginning of the stream done and dusted. Although there is something else about this, I suppose. Incidentally, that's a good reason to go back to the other computer now and actually, hopefully have that one set up and run accordingly. But either way, this the other thing about this is that for some reason this video seemed like it had a full timeline. You know how like on YouTube, if you've already seen a video, it shows like the full timeline, and if you're halfway through it, it shows like the middle. There's like the red bar underneath it. That seems to just be there. And I thought, wait, does that mean that I've reviewed this? I don't tend to watch many gachas these days outside of gacha review. I watch a few of them occasionally, but that's, but yeah, usually the majority of gacha consumption content is here, especially if it's from a channel that is already on my radar of reviews, like is the case with Elion, aka Wiz Gaming. This is actually also the next video in the order, in release order on the Wiz Gaming or Elion channel, which means that it was going to be next on my list anyway. So I don't know if it was like a lost media thing or something like that. I checked on my channel multiple times and there's no evidence that I've reviewed this at all. So unless the one thing I did just scroll through my other existing live streams, so I didn't have time. Maybe it's buried in there, I just forgot to link it. That might be the evidence. But assuming that's not the case, and assuming that my skimming through the actual video so I don't spoil it for myself in case I haven't seen it is correct, then we haven't looked at this one yet. Which is a shame, because it's a musical gacha. Today we're looking at Intertwining Melodies for the presumed first time. And I will have to say, I don't know much about this one, but maybe I do, and it's buried so far in my subconscious, but we're going to go in and assume that there's nothing here, and I just happen to, look at a couple of snippets, see if it like immediately rang a bell in my mind, so most of this is going to be blind as always. So, without further ado, on with the review.
Next up, we have Charlie Devon's Feel It Too.
I do like the the intro there. Sounds like a golfer. And Charlie Devon's on field 2. He manages to so far on the green, and good for par. I don't know. Trying to remember the golf exchange on DBZA. Anyway, whatever. Moving on with this, I like the fact that like the intro is only like a switch thing. I love the disembodied hand done effectively in gacha, actually, to show like a perspective. You don't get that many shots of it because it is often quite clumsy. But yeah, one of the earliest editing techniques to grace the gacha community and to make the waves, and I just, have very rarely used it. So the one time that it's appeared technically is because of William, so I don't really count that necessarily. Actually, wait, no, I think I might have done it once in a remake episode. Yeah, I did it once, William did it once. So I've done it one time myself and twice overall, if you by uploads, I mean. Attention, the end is nigh. Repent your soul and beg forgiveness from Jesus. I was about to say, I hope she notices that. If that bus is for her, I hope she notices.
Crazy when you walk my way. So just stop right there.
By the way, I'm going to go off the assumption that, yes, the music of this is probably copyrighted, but seeing as it is a musical gacha, it's... I think I probably should keep it in because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to... It's doing its job, is the assumption I'm going with.
Make my day. Oh, girl, I know that you do too. So let's stop playing and see this through.
Okay, so actually, you know what? One thing I got to say here. So far I'm enjoying like what we got here because with I know like I say another early editing technique with Gacha that didn't really make it very far past its originator was like the technique I associate most with Midori stories and the establishing shots. And I guess Lunar Sun, as we saw recently, because obviously the two of them being in correspondence makes a lot of sense that, you know, they would borrow techniques and ideas from each other. Yeah, the thing that both of them do, or at least did, was what was have a bunch of like vignettes of people as shots before the episodes start. But actually, and that's what like really drew me into Not Your Average Girl when I first watched it. Like that was like the biggest, that was like the first point of like, oh, okay, there's something going on here. Again, early days of Gacha, obviously. But now seeing the difference, there's my major complaint with that technique and how Midori particularly applied it, and also Lunar Sun to a certain extent, is that the vignettes themselves don't feel like they're from like the same world or convey what they want to, or convey to the story. It just feels like it felt like a bunch of random people in random situations. Like there was a mad scientist in a forest for some reason, right after a couple of dragonflies, a random train. It wasn't very consistent at all. So when I tried it for Early Mutant Girl, I would try to make it so it's like, yes, you know, establishing shots for the time of day or the sky or whatever, and then inside, like, you know, the school building, if that's where they are, you know, things like that, basically. That was the plan, anyway, you know. But this one feels like we're either going to meet some, if not all, of these characters, and also sort of ties into the idea of intertwining melodies because you know, if something intertwines, it's got to come from different places and mix together at a certain point. And a lot of people here were either playing music or listening to music, or look like they belong into the world of music. Like gonna lie, you know, insert the guy posing here, or whatever. So yeah, this might potentially be like the first introduction to what the characters do normally before they come together, sort of like Lemonade Mouth in a sense, if anyone remembers that movie. And of course, another similarity to Midori is that the actual use and rotation of a football. It's very rare for an entire game to hesitate like this for too long. Okay, poor camera operator. Okay, you know what? That's, you know, I said before that like the record of yeah, I thought I had like a potential record of characters on screen from back in season 3 because of Mutant Girl, because you know I had like 15. I'm pretty sure this definitely exceeds it. This is multiple like layerings of people together, and actually multiple shadows and such, and different styles, so not entirely the same. I guess you could also interpret that as them being illuminated by different parts of the stage lighting. Let's see, how many I've got here? Like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 at least there in that row. And then like, let's go with like 5 or 6 in that one. So let's call that like 16, 17. And then this lot here would take that up to 19, 20. And also, some of them actually did in fact move a little bit there. Okay, so we're going from like non-diegetic to diegetic. So I guess again that ban is probably going to be relevant in some way.
Feel it too.
Oh, hello. Possible frog person on the bike? Okay. The one thing I'm not sure if I enjoy as much is the consistency of this filter on the screen. Like, there was a time where a lot of gacha tubers were pushing the idea of having, like, you know, a sparkly filter of some kind on the screen for the entire episode. You know, like that one, like, B episode that I referenced a lot. I forgot what it was called now. You got to be careful with that because at a certain point it gets very distracting or just becomes background noise that no one notices. If it works in certain instances, like, you know, to in here you could sort of say it's like, you know, the hyper, you know, optimistic approach to everything, but it's so unilateral and ignores so much of like the other potential lighting or scenarios in the episode in the montage so far that, you know, at least I count it for the concert, for example. So I'm a bit skeptical on it right now. I like what it represents in principle. Okay. Oh, that's nice detail of like, you know, the guy walking, still catching up, and it being, you know, part of the same environment. Because I have to imagine that, you know, these backgrounds were probably not like all like put together or something in some sort of way. You know, like for example, obviously a lot of 3D shows will do this kind of thing because they can get away with it. They have like they can make a model entire city if they want to. But yeah, I mean, these choices definitely seem like they're all one location and flow one after the other. So yeah, I like that. Please tell me you're not parking in the middle of the road. You didn't even pull over.
Here we are. Vinewood.
New. Get out of the way. I heard a hey in the back there. Like, hey, your car's not parked. All right, a little bit of masking there. Very nice. Or just, you know, wall inclusion. Actually, it might have been that the platform was like a little bit lifted.
Number 5.
I'm sorry. Did the bell ring after? Oh, sorry. No, the bell was ringing for like, you know, for the wait. Okay,
Mocha
sure.
latte with cocoa powder and no whipped cream for Jake Holloway. Number 1, plain black coffee, no sugar, no cream for Ariana Faro.
Black coffee, I'm your coffee guy. No! Also, is this character on the screen right now Ariana Follow? Because I mean, if we're gonna go with a musical themed episode and a redhead character named Ariana, okay.
Yeesh, this place sure is busy. I gotta get in line
Plot twist: that's Ariana in the corner right now. It was just a bluff the whole time.
for the entire cafe fills up.
Sort of redhead.
I'm gonna be
Okay, I would have like had that shot last a little bit longer, but maybe like pan over a little bit slower and then sharp cut back.
here all day, aren't I?
Although I guess the point is that there's a queue, not say who's in the queue. So yeah.
Ma'am, are you gonna order something? In case you didn't notice, we don't have all day. Oh, I'm so sorry. I got a little caught up.
You know what? Best line there from the barista being like, in case you've noticed when I have all day, like she says that in such like a calm tone, but underneath is probably just so exasperated with customers in general. Most likely. Kind of reminds me of like of a couple of emails that I've sent off very recently. Well, one was a text and about an email, but an email I sent off today, in fact, being like, yes, you know, I understand what you're saying to me about this thing that I've asked you about, but I still need it done.
And my thoughts there. I'll just have a coffee with 2 sugar, 2 cream. Okay. Hey, Joe! Get a coffee, 2 sugar, 2 cream for the little lady over here.
Are you not going to take her name? Also, what was that? What kind of blink stare was that?
Here.
Hold on. Oh, okay. I think I just paused at the wrong time. Yeah, it's normal blink. I just paused at the wrong time, and I don't know why her eyes have gone that way, where it seems like she's mildly embarrassed or traumatized or something. What changed exactly? Being called a little lady? Plot twist: this character's trans, and it turns out that was the issue. And at the end of the series, they order a coffee again with their actual, you know, their actual gender. I don't know.
Here you go. Next!
Oh, so the order counter and the pickup counter are the same. I understand why the queue's so long now. And also seems to be no queue anymore. So I guess no one entered after her. That's what I would have done there, considering how many extras you've got going on in this episode so far. I would have suggested like adding a few more, like a couple of people at least behind her in the queue to imply that there were other people waiting for her. Because otherwise, they very much did have all day.
Oh, great. There are no tables open. Whatever. I'll just go sit in my
No tables open. I think we know tables free, right? Or no tables available.
car.
Hey, wait! You can take my seat. I'm leaving in a few minutes anyways.
As I have not ordered anything, I have no reason to be here.
No, it's fine. It really is. I wouldn't want to trouble you and...
I insist. See, look, either way, I'm getting up. So you'd better hurry before someone...
That's really a cool detail there. And the table being like actual like prop in there and going from behind.
takes this seat. Hey, don't laugh at me. You're the one missing out after all.
Really, I'm not.
Well, if you say...
Honestly, I thought that was going to be the first, like, hey, you're in my seat. No, I'm not in my seat. I claimed this first. And that was like the birth of their rivalry. But you know what? Fine.
Say so. I should really be going, though. Nice meeting you, Miss...
April Johnson.
All right, Miss Johnson. I'll be off now.
Okay, yeah, April Johnson does seem like a familiar name to me. I don't know. I've watched so many gachas at this point, but I swear, like, YouTube thinks I've seen this already. I don't know if I have.
Hope we can meet again.
Bye. What? What's wrong?
I don't know. What is wrong? Oh, the reaction of the people. Well, first of all, that question was behind you, so I didn't even notice. I'm guessing that character is somewhat famous, and, you know, that's why it's like a big deal that they're there. I had the opposite effect, by the way. If it remembers like episode Choose Your Stories, I call it Screen Tap. There's a story on there called Brother My Brother, which I actually did like play one episode of when I was planning to do episode videos actually, and they never went anywhere. Yeah, so Brother My Brother was actually I knew about it because like one of my friends played it that I hang out with at lunchtime at school. So that's that's why I knew about it. I just was always like looking over her as all the gameplay was tapping on the screen, and thus that's why I called it Screen Tap. But anyway, point is, I didn't know at first because she was already like played through some of it. I didn't know first that one of the main characters in there was famous. And then it turns out in the first episode, that's obviously what they established, but it's just because like he's acting like such a normal person throughout and everyone treats him that way. There's like, well, there's no difference here, you know? It seems like, yes, it's you know, Aiden, Lydia, and main character's name who I've forgotten. And the whole idea is that, you know, Aiden is the new like stepbrother to the main character's name I've forgotten. I don't know. That was like the first screen tap I ever saw, and I completely forgot about most of it. Maybe I should get back to that game, actually.
I still have a few hours before my audition for Silvershine Records. What should I do? Well...
Okay, so I was going to say before, it's obviously having a character be like, yes, pleased to meet you, Miss and then saying your name. That's usually that's definitely a form of exposition, but it's one that's like it's a familiar one that's not like superimposing. It's a natural one. It's just a little bit overdone. So, but nothing wrong with it on principle. the whole like thought process thing here. It's like, ah, yes, it's better be too late for my audition at Silvershine Records. That feels a bit clumsy to me, especially because it's the character's like inner thoughts. Whereas, like, yes, if this were a book, that's exactly where you would put those. But you know, if a character's late for something, you just say that, oh yes, wait, no, I'm late, and then we find out what they're late for when they go to the audition itself, or what they're not late for. I mean, you know, obviously she's fine right now, she's punctual, but what you know what I meant.
Well, I guess I could start by letting my parents know I'm here.
I could start by informing other people of events that are going to be established naturally anyway. Okay.
Where is my phone? Ah, here it is.
That was needed. Or maybe it is needed, actually, to convey the character being a little bit scatterbrained, actually. I guess that's also sort of like the evidence there, because she's, you know, she's a bit scatterbrained, but she's also somewhat isn't too polite for her own good. And possibly, given like the whole montage there, views the world in such an optimistic manner that the second she enters a competitive industry like, you know, performing arts, and in this case music, that's going to be cut down a peg or so. So actually, yeah, that's this stuff, you know, all this so far does a lot of like heavy lifting in terms of the characterization of this character right now, of April Johnson. I think I've got like a handle on her, and she hasn't really, you know, had to do or say that much. It's just, you know, pretty tightly executed, honestly.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Still busy, huh? Well, I can call.
Okay, that too. Yeah, I was worried about the exposition before, but yes, this absolutely is is another fantastic point here, which is like, you know, not, you know, if she hasn't got like the best, like, you know, connection in terms of her like other home life, then escaping here might also be part of her trying to reinvent herself or something. Yeah, there's again a lot's been happening. I'm taking a second right now to address the mouth here, I guess, because it depends on how you do this, by the way. Depends on your screen recorder. This can in fact happen if someone pauses at the wrong time, or like the fade in frames are much more visible on an animated mouth like this. But I want to contrast it to the mouth from before, from the performing from the band, actually, in the montage, where it seemed like that was actually much more synced up to the music. The earliest lip syncing that was done in Gacha was like to music like this, you know, in like early Gacha music videos too. So I guess the community was used to it by that point.
Oh, Harmony, she'll be so excited.
And there's a lot of like changes in her facial expression and her mouth movements, which definitely say to me that this was visuals that were put together after the voice lines were recorded, which is always what I recommend doing, unless you're on a time crunch, and or you're prepared to refine it if the audio does not match, or redirect your voice actors afterwards. Any of those circumstances, but ultimately, the most efficient method for most people would be like the voice lines reign supreme here, but then and therefore you can sync, you as the creator can sync them up as needed, essentially. That's at least how it works in Gacha.
Hello?
Hey, Harmony, this is...
And a nice split screen. One thing that I wish I'd done back in the days, actually like added some sort of like, you know, screen like border here, honestly, in the middle. That's also a very nice touch.
April.
Oh my gosh! April! You will not believe how happy I am to hear your voice! How's Vinewood?
Okay, one thing that I don't think they should do, because I've done like obviously many phone call conversations like this, is I don't think they should like move them and pose their bodies in different ways like this, because they are effectively trying to hold a phone up to each other or hear each other, and both of them right now are pointing their phones away from their mouths, or their mouths away from their phones, more accurately. So it's going to be hard for both of them.
I don't know yet. I only just got here.
Aww. Does that mean you haven't made Charlie Devon fall in love with you yet?
Harmony!
I presume from context, Charlie Devon is a celebrity, possibly the main singer from the band that we saw in the montage.
Relax, girl. I just tell it like it is. He'd be an idiot to ignore you.
That's not the point. Besides, the audition isn't for another 2 hours.
Okay, I'm now worried that this plot line is going to be her and a potential crush on Charlie Devon, or like, torn between the guy from before whose name I've forgotten now from the cafe, the unattainable celebrity crush, and the much more down to earth, possibly also celebrity. I hope that's not where they go with this.
Well, let me just say
Although it is intertwining melodies, so they have to all meet at some point, I suppose.
this, because I know you're nervous as heck right now. You can do this. Everyone back home knows you're a legend. Now, you...
Yeah, could you take my phone off of your hips, please? So I can hear what you're saying?
just gotta prove it to them.
Easier said than done.
Come on, don't be so...
That's more like down the thigh, actually. Yeah, take my phone off your thigh, please. Ah, yes, don't worry, I got a phone call. Ah, yes, can everyone hear me right now? Can you hear me, mother?
Pardon yourself. Just show off your godly voice, get Charlie Devon and his team to choose you to duet with him on his next single, and bam! We can fangirl together for the next 30 years!
Sure. I'll try not to disappoint you guys.
Don't worry,
Okay, again, this is what I worry about with exposition. That feels like something they would have talked about before leaving, and that was the whole point, but... I don't know.
No, you won't. Now go on out there and get the complete Vinewood experience. You'd better take pictures for me. Got that? Okay, bye!
Wait!
Okay, nice detail, by the way, of the phone. I saw her phone actually, like, flash for a second and then, like, go dark. That was a really good touch.
Pictures? You know what? I can do pictures.
I thought she was going to take a selfie right now, honestly. Oh, there we go. Yep. Did she put it on a timer? If so, what does she prop the phone against? Is there like a rock behind her? These are the questions I ask. Yeah, I guess it was a timer, or this nice person probably helped out, but also didn't stop taking pictures, so maybe they didn't help out.
I am exhausted.
I was gonna say she looks like darker now. She's like covered in dirt, but no, it's because she's obscure, because the lighting's different, because she's not in the direct like filter. Which, by the way, the filter's gone now. Some guy's not throughout the whole episode, so that's my worries also quelled.
Looks like it's gonna rain soon. I wonder what time it is. Shoot.
Oh, I see. She lost track of time because of the photos. I was about to be like, all right.
Shoot! I'm gonna get a Silver Shine Records ASAP. It's already 3:20.
Honestly, an accurate startup. You don't want to stall the engine too quickly. All right, points for that too. Although, I guess that was like where she parked afterwards, or where she pulled over afterwards to take the photos, because she wasn't by the sign before.
Please don't be late. Please don't be late.
If you know the starting time, you shouldn't be saying please don't be late.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come to these auditions.
To make the best use of all our time, we'll be skipping the introduction and guidelines and diving straight into the auditions. I trust that everybody
I feel like that's probably not legal to skip the guidelines if you have them. But sure, proceed.
has taken the liberty to read them in advance on our website.
The guidelines.
Today, you'll be...
Okay. That's also fair. I guess they go by alphabetical order. Her last name's Johnson, so hopefully, hopefully she'll have a little bit of time. It's like, or unless they go by like first name, it's just gonna be like, so we're gonna go in alphabetical order. Oh, good. By first name. Oh no, that'd be funny.
Scored on a 3 points per category system. However, keep in mind that the final say goes to Charlie Devon himself.
Okay, did she read the website at all? How did she even apply for this audition if she didn't go through it online because she's not from the city, right? So she didn't like get like a physical advert or something. I don't think. And I doubt they're gonna print these out and advertise in the newspapers anymore, considering what time period this seems to be set in. So she must have read about it online on the website. And they mentioned Charlie Devaughn before in the previous conversation. What did she think was going to happen here?
Well, what are we waiting for?
Oh, wait, no, that guy from before is Charlie Devaughn. Fine. I get. Oh, wait, maybe she's recognized the other clothes he has because, let's be fair, he either took off the hoodie. Did we think about anything else?
The auditions begin.
No, this can't be happening. That's the guy from the cafe. Is that why everyone was staring at me?
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. I keep expecting with these videos that there's something going to be a horrible lapse in logic, and this one just simply does not have that.
You left? Oh my gosh, I laughed in his face. I swear he better not remember who I am.
Well, you laughed at like the circumstance of someone taking the seat. That wasn't really like laughing at him necessarily.
My entire career's been ruined before it even began.
Oh my gosh. What's wrong with her?
Don't be mean.
Oh no.
I mean, I know there's like always like a thing in media where it's like, yes, what's wrong with her? Let's pick on the girl who, seems like the weirdest in the audition and gossip about her, and they're just gonna like, wow us and blow us away with her performance or whatever. Classic thing. But she hasn't really done anything here apart from react in a shocked manner to Charlie being here, which I guess from their perspective is probably going to be weird because they're going to assume, like I did, that she didn't read the website properly.
Is that Crystal and Rose? They're two of the most iconic female singers on all of MuseTube.
Wait, so you're reacting to people who... Oh, wait, those two in the background. Oh.
We were supposed to be friends after my big break. Now they think I'm a huge weirdo.
Next, April Faye Johnson.
Who's April Faye Johnson? Oh, that's me.
Okay. That was funny. I guess they are going by order of first name. Okay, just a thing here. Most of the time, if you go do like an audition like this, you wouldn't have the person like inside the the studio area. You'd be like behind the screen, like there, by the booth, basically. Which incidentally, I did a singing audition a couple days ago. If you'll recall, and actually, yeah, I did. Well, not singing. It was full singing audition. It was singing, acting, and also there was some dancing beforehand. Which the dancing was done before the singing, incidentally, and because no one else offered to go first, I, like an idiot, said I would. So not my best vocal performance, certainly, but that's not even against the fact that I was in a character voice that I was later asked to stop doing. Yeah, the audition I talked about on Walking Wednesday did not go well. I'll talk about that more probably next week. Next week, next Walking Wednesday. Yeah, but yeah, like what the part I was trying to talk about was the fact that we were going to be recorded. We were recorded like all of us just with like the director's phone, basically, so she could reference it later on, which is fair. There were like 20 of us there, so of course you want to reference that later. In this case, go to the full studio and actually, record the auditions professionally, and then see which one like works best with your setup. Whereas with me, it was just a case of like, yes, we were being there, but also being filmed, which is why I put my costume on for it, which is, I guess, one advantage I had is that I brought costumes. But yeah, I awkwardly took a step forward at one point because I thought, okay, if we're gonna be, I want to be in the range for the phone being audio recorded. Then I realized we were holding it up to record a video. So I'm so used to just having audio recorded for audio stuff, and then this is what happens. Anyway,
you can start whenever you're ready.
Oh, I can't do this. I can't.
All this to say, you have a studio here. You can use it. Don't have her in front of you.
Ahem. The clock is ticking.
Hey.
I do like how this is the one scene where you can hear a clock ticking.
Hey, don't be nervous. You can do this. I believe in you.
Charlie Devon.
Which, by the way, I'm glad it's not in like the other room, the soundproof one, but yeah, that's got to be awfully distracting for somebody who works with different tempos all the time. I guess that's why I got to wear the headphones.
Just spoke to me. He remembers, doesn't he? He remembers. Relax, April. Just like he said, you can do this.
Also, they're waiting for her cue as well, because like, yeah, even in the audition that I did, you know, we had like, you know, the sound engineer who was who had shown up there to help like play the audio, and even like had done like a different key. You could sing it in a higher key if you wanted to. But yeah, there was like an actual cue you're supposed to do so you could actually listen to it and sing properly along with it, because I guess the director subscribed to my philosophy that singing a cappella does not prove much at all when you're trying to figure out how someone will respond to existing music. So yes, they probably should have started a track by now so she could actually do something aside from just a cappella. Although then again, I guess counter argument would be that they want to hear her raw vocals. Even then, you can use that in the studio, but whatever.
You finally ready? All right, give you your best go.
Listen to my heartbeat,
Okay, so yeah, so fortunately enough, they picked a song for her that did not have a super long introduction. Because otherwise I was going to be like, okay, we're just waiting for her to start. Like, imagine if they played like Wings, for example. You know, obviously that wouldn't have happened. That song wasn't written when this came out. But, you know, what I mean is, like, oh, wait, no, yes, it was. It's 2021. Yeah, but yeah, Wings was out by this point. Anyway, imagine if they played Wings, for example, that has, as I famously noted, a 24-second intro. And she was just waiting there, and they were wondering what she was doing. Although in that circumstance, what I would have done as an editor would have been to keep all the same audio, but have the intro like build up in the background. That would have been a fix to it. But either way, choosing a song with a short intro works perfectly fine here. Okay, I also like that they all have different reactions here. Because if you remember, one of my biggest complaints with My Passion is the fact that Baby's voice, Baby being the main character, by the way, in case someone has forgotten, Baby's voice was massively overhyped. Like, here's the thing, it was not bad by any means, but it's also the kind of thing where, like, you know, it's actually what I would have expected a voice to sound like of somebody who is fairly nervous, has some proficiency and some skill that they've acquired, but could use some more refinement in the form of a performing arts school, which was the setup for My Passion. Right? I know this is not a performing arts school. This is like an actual music label, but yes. And the thing is that after that, every single other time that we hear Baby perform, it always, even if the song is like not super like, not like the best in general, that like everyone is so like wowed consistently. Of course, this is, you know, a little bit like fantasy fulfillment because I'm pretty sure Baby was voiced by the main creator of the series. Well, one of the creators. There was two sisters, but one of the sisters, who's this again, Foxy Baby. So yeah, absolutely. What was I getting at? Oh yes, that yeah, everyone like overhyped it so much to the point it's very similar to the situation with Victorious, where that was where by no means was Tori ever a bad singer by any stretch of the imagination, but they hype her up as perfection so much that it gets to be the point where, like, you know, why not, like, you know, everyone else that is around her, right? Because they found some talents there, you know, all round. So it wasn't like that was ever going to be a concern that to artificially try to hype her up, which is unfair. Because as she noted, they all sing. What was I saying? Yeah, but this time we see different reactions. One of them where it seems like I've forgotten the main singer's name now. I've talked so much I forgot what his name was. But yeah, he seemed to be like in awe, potentially just all round, possibly smitten by her. lady to his left is very is very like subdued and neutral. Lady to his right actually seems to be, I don't know, it's either wild or just like exasperated, and man on the on our right, as it is so bored with everything, which does go to show they hear so many people and prospective talents that they are gonna be, even if you're like at the pinnacle of this and a super prodigy of something, they've heard it all by this point, so they're not gonna be immediately impressed, or they've trained themselves to not give that away immediately to throw you off your scent. There are some directors out there that the worse their face looks, the better the performance actually is. All of that was me trying to waffle around and say, I like the way they're reacting to her and not overhyping her immediately. Or it's not to the same degree. I mean, this guy here is obviously an exception. Yeah, even for a sub-professed person who's not like, who's not feel like necessary to like lip syncing Gacha to this degree, I gotta admire the lip syncing here, the commitment to it. It is definitely spot on, and also pre-rendered, because I don't see the mouth moving differently through the keyframes or anything like that. Nope, none of those issues, or like all the shots like going back and forth. So I'm fairly certain that, yeah, this is just, again, to like add the extra flavor that is needed for something like this. Reminds me of Aphmau's, singing battle from back in the day when Aphmau like did like those parody gacha videos. The singing battle trend was arguably at its peak by that point. And then Aphmau was just like, here, let me show you how it's actually done. and did something similar to this, just with more people at the same time.
Rushing through my veins. You are the drug that takes away the pain. You're the emotion I can't ignore. I can get used to this for sure. Listen to my...
Yeah, I can get used to this. Our few interactions that we've had so far. The incredible montage of our time together. Okay, Okay, that also, I will say, is fairly accurate. Like, if there's like a drop in instrumental, I've done the exact same thing to that in my audition recently, where like I start like dancing at a certain point, because I realized I've been like static and focused on singing the whole time, and it's like, oh yeah, what am I gonna do now? There's a lull in the music, and I'm back to the singing. Another lull in the music. Can you tell that I'm winging it? Yeah, something like that. Yep, so again, different reactions.
Bro, that was great! I really enjoyed it.
Ahem. It was rather unique, wasn't it? But
was it? I mean, if you say so. I mean, I wouldn't call it unique necessarily.
But it didn't follow the guidelines.
What?
That's why.
Page 1, paragraph 3. It states that all auditioners must sing a Charlie Devon song. Unless...
That was his name, Charlie Devon.
He released a new album without alerting us. I doubt that what you sang was of his brand. So, explain yourself.
I wasn't. I didn't. It was my...
Speak up. If a singer does not communicate clearly, can they even be called a singer?
If a singer communicates clearly while singing, then yes, they can. That is... What are you even saying right now?
Wait! Don't go! I hope you're all happy.
Do we continue with...
I do actually kind of get why they wanted to sing a Charlie Devon song, because if this is all if the friend is to be believed, to pick someone to duet with Charlie Devon on a song, you want someone who's able to emulate his style. So that's not them being like super harsh or anything. I do get that.
Without him?
Huh. Good question.
Oh, and also, really nice detail here because the rain was what was foreshadowed before. It's not just a case of, oh, now I'm crying in the rain because the rain is gonna like add to this or something. You know, or the opposite is, you know, like in Men in Black 2, where it's like, it rains because you're sad, you know, obviously. No, it's actually a line before about it beginning to rain, and now we actually see it, so it doesn't feel like it's like artificially inserted here. That's Chekhov's thunderclouds right there. Also, I gotta admire two things. One, the performance, the actual voice acting of particularly April. Not to say the other characters like aren't like standouts or anything, but like April particularly is, you know, well, I guess she has the most opportunity to give it her all because she's had them, most everyone else has sort of you know, had you know, minuscule parts by comparison. But yeah, you can tell a lot that, like, you know, this is somebody who's like, you know, very much able to both fake cry and fake laugh. The false dichotomy is non-existent, and also potentially sing. It depends. I'd have to check again in the myriad of different browsers I've used to set this up. I'd have to check to see if this is if that song was the same person who actually sang this, because it actually does sound like the VA for April. So one or two things happened. Either they picked an existing song, because in this situation you can go that much more easily because it's not like a musical number, right? It's a song that this would sing for an audition. It doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be custom made or anything. So they either picked an existing song of a register of a person who sounded like April, or they had April sing the song, and then it sounded that way, and then so I have to either compliment April's VA again for the singing job, or I have to compliment Wiz Gaming for the choice of song to match. I don't know which one, but either way, someone's getting extra kudos for that inclusion alone. Also the rain.
Hello? April! Are you out here? Hello?
Hello?
Now, why would I do that, Miss Johnson?
Because you have tons of other people to audition and need to be there to listen. You're one of the judges. That's a reason.
You look like you need some assistance.
You look like you need an umbrella.
I don't need your help. All you need is to stop being so naive.
Wait a minute. No. Hold on. I'm turning this music up. Hold on a second. I was just talking about the rain. What track are they playing right now?
I never should have come. I don't belong here.
No, that's wrong.
Okay. So, as we were talking about a miraculous inspiration yesterday, there is the track they're playing right now is from Miraculous, and it's called In the Rain. It's the one that was used during the scene in Origins where Marinette falls for Adrian in the rain, and is used in other rain sequences and also other moments in their story in general, but it always like calls back to that moment. So I'm pretty sure this is the idea. Like, these two have like have had miscommunications up till this point, and this is the scene where one falls for the other. That's what I'm assuming happens, and that's why they picked this particular piece of music that perfectly exemplifies all of that, and added the rain here. It's just so funny that it's like, yeah, it's a very obvious inspiration once you know everything about it.
You do belong here.
Really? How?
You belong with me.
What are you on about?
I've decided that you'll be doing my next single with me.
No one else auditioned. At least give them a chance. That's not fair on them. I get this gesture. If he was blown away by her, great, wonderful for him. But let everyone else apply first. Those other two singers, the ones before, like, unless she's been crying out here for ages, which I guess is possible, but her car's nearby. That's a good point, actually. Her car's nearby. I know that it seems like it's a topless car, but most topless cars you can like close them usually, right? You're sitting out here getting wet for no reason, and if the other auditions have all indeed gone through, then you've been out here for way too long. You're gonna catch pneumonia. You're gonna get sick and die before your first performance with this man.
Uh-huh. Really?
That's right. Now, stop crying and get up.
Thank you.
I have stopped crying. It's just the rain. It could be. We don't know.
Charlie?
Charles. It's Charles. And don't mention it.
That's interesting, actually. Because obviously, normally you would think that that Charles would be like his regular name, and Charlie would be the nickname for Charles, which I'm sure it is. But that sort of implies he might have been in the music business for some time and just not like the name Charlie anymore. And so, in private or to those like close to him, he likes to be referred to as Charles because Charlie feels like a brand at this point. Which, yeah, that's again a simple line, but has many implications behind it. I really like this episode.
Now come on, let's go write the best song ever.
Oh, we haven't written the song yet. Wait, hold on. Whoa, wait a second. No. If you're saying let's go write the best song ever, like, first of all, right after the audition, a little bit harsh there. She might have to validate her parking if that's the case. But anyway, regardless of that, you're saying it's a different. I thought the song was something that he like pre-written. I was just trying to find a singer to bring it to life. I didn't know that he was looking for somebody to actually write the song with him. If that is the case, and bear in mind, I've never actually, auditioned a songwriter before, because lo and behold, most of the time, all the time, if I audition for if I need anything song written, I just go to myself. But if I were to, what I would do is not just audition their vocal abilities, but also their writing ones. You have to know that you're getting into something here. If anything, I would have reframed the entire competition here, or the entire audition, I mean. Maybe you do a song like, one of like, Charlie Devon's songs or whatever, but then also do one that you've written yourself, like do it in two parts, similar to how if you were just for drama school, they ask you, at least in the UK, they ask you for a modern piece that's written after a certain point. Usually it was 1970. It might have been 1980 now. They might have updated it because time has passed. But yeah, usually within like the last half a century, essentially, is when they would want to give you those guidelines. And then also a classical piece, usually sometimes they'll ask you for one like by Shakespeare specifically. Obviously, this is again, UK specific here, but I'm sure that, other classical writers would get preference in other places. Or sometimes they say, oh yeah, one that's like before this point or sometime in like this other era. So sometimes you can get like, I don't know, like a Bartholomew Fair or something. Which I think I did at one point just to be a contrarian. But anyway, what was I thinking? So you have to do like two different pieces there. And if it's a musical theater program, then you have to sing as well. So it's a long process for all drama school auditions. For the music label, I do the same thing. Just have like two songs, one Charlie Devon and one original. Or alternatively, if you want to get through a bunch of people quickly, the other possibility would have been to ask them to bring a written song in the style of Charlie Devon. Now we're talking. Now we're talking here, because then you can, two birds with one stone, essentially. You get the sense of like, you can match the vibe of Charlie's music, but then also somebody who can actively contribute to said music. That would have been a two-bird situation. But either way, now knowing this kind of makes the rest of the combat, the audition, a little bit ineffective. Not entirely ineffective, but not as good as it could have been. So what should be a terrible songwriter now? Well, I guess the next episode might be like her building confidence in her singing, or like, you know, her writer's block potentially. I don't know. But yeah, what should be terrible at songwriting? It's like, oh yeah, we didn't think that one through, did we? And there's the first episode of Intertwining Melodies. Is there a post credits? Is it the outro? I think it's the outro. It's the outro. Honestly, not a bad track there. I don't know if it... Well, you know what? Who cares? We're going to listen to it. I don't know if it's copyrighted yet, but for once, we'll see. I assume, by the way, that, you know, this is StreamYard, obviously, so I see, like, there's, like, an end screen somewhere, but, you know, for this. Okay, so that was Intertwining Melodies, and again, I really, really like this episode. This is definitely not one that I would have easily forgotten, so I'm going to say I have not watched this. I just happened to like another April Johnson somewhere that I talked about at some point. Because, yeah, this is one that I don't want to forget about. Like, there are more episodes of this, and I am very thankful that there are. You know, Wiz Gaming might be terrible at parodying others, but as far as originality goes, again, consistent improvement all round. Like, this one feels like so many things have been upped from the last episode alone, or that could have been because of my story focus in that one, because this story was so abysmal in Predestined. But yeah, I think that might also be another indication that Elion's talents, I should say now, is it lie in mostly in modern settings. That's not to say that, you know, one should not try to branch out, but it definitely seems like at this point that was most certainly a strength compared to Predestined, which showed at the time, weakness. But yeah, everything else came together so well. I didn't even mention the cinematography in this, like the actual like other uses of angles and everything, the inclusions of the extras I brought up very briefly. But yeah, I think if we went back to, you know what, let's go back and like you know, on mute, see if we can actually see any of the people that we just saw right now, because I'm wondering. So see, there's the logo. We see those people. That kind of looks like Charlie, but not really. I thought it was going to be the main character, but it isn't. Okay, so it does seem like they're all... Oh, okay, wait, that's actual... I guess that's actual Wiz Gaming now. So yeah, this does seem like it's a bunch of people like living their lives. Not the... So I suppose like this montage in hindsight doesn't seem like it's... like it matches the series nearly as much as I thought it would. There's the concept of music, certainly, but unless these characters appear in future episodes, it doesn't seem like they're all that connected. Except, obviously, for good old Charles here, because that's, you know, obviously that was the whole point. Also, I wonder about those two in the band. I want to see if they are just like, you know, hired musicians, or if there's like an actual band behind him. Because I have to imagine they're going to choose like other characters that are going to be relevant to the situation. And then, of course, there's April here, who comes onto the scene as if she's like just a part of the montage, but is actually towards the end. So yeah, this part, I suppose, isn't as thematically appropriate as I thought it was. But again, it's a modern style fantasy here that doesn't distract you with any of its visuals. And also another thing, the town. I got the vibes of Coastal Town before I even saw the sea. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, it feels like a coast. I don't even know how to describe that, but it just does. And you can definitely tell, like, even what like section of the city that you're in at this point, because like as the audition came closer, she like went to like more like, you know, they're together buildings, and the time was different. So yeah, and even the filter that I was like concerned about before, the shows like her optimism, like yeah, it crumbles in favor of the foreshadowed rain. The matches here, and I guess also goes like the miraculous comparison. Oh my goodness, there's so much good in this one. Like this is what we need more of. Like, yeah, I went through so much of the time, like, like just like harping on Wiz Gaming and Walking Wednesday so much. Little did I know that this was round the corner. Like, my goodness, this is what I mean when I like to say, like, to see how gacha tubers improve over time. Like, I can barely fault this on anything except for a few choices of montage and the nature of the audition and how it was executed. I want to see those guidelines and go over a couple of points, go over the T's and C's as well. But really, aside from that, like there's almost like nothing else. The judges didn't like overhype her. Charles might have a certain amount of bias. Actually, no, that's one thing I will fault that he did not allow those to take part. Is that bias going to come back to bite her? Potentially, actually. She's not prepared for the environment she's in. But given how she's characterized, she was always going to be ill prepared because of what we established earlier about like not even like her home life, but her nature, her mentality. And that was at the same time as introducing like the other main character in disguise and setting up like that here. Like it served like two purposes. This is the first like conflict between them, but like them and the reason for her nervousness later, but also to show like what kind of person she was like right off the get go before even the conversation with her friend or the part about her parents. Like by that point, you already had an idea of like who she was. Like yeah, this is like I can't stress this enough. This is probably one of the best gachas that I have seen this year at the very least. Like yeah, this is really well put together. So yeah, I don't think I've been like this happy with like a first episode, like got a first like introduction to something since Believer and Gasoline. That one definitely went a bit further, but I mean, still, this is up there for me certainly. I hope I'm not like hyping up too much soon. This is the first episode. It could end up being catastrophic. In fact, I think Predestined episode 1 was okay, and then the second one was like too rushed to get through everything, and so like it's a face planted. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully I didn't just jinx it because we're off to a really great beginning. Please don't let it crash and burn. Please, Wiz Gaming / elion now. I keep forgetting. But either way, I suppose we'll find out next week. So until then, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. And subscribe if you've done so already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.